So, welcome. I would like for you to get yourself really comfortable. So you can maybe lie either with the legs straight or with the knees bent. You can have a feel of both and decide which feels most comfortable for you, more supportive. Which allows you to really land and let the shoulders be supported, the hips be supported. Allow yourself to really drop. So today's class is very much an introduction to yoga. It's going to be at a nice slow pace, and what I would like for you to do is, if possible, take the opportunity to really listen to your body. Notice where you're holding tension. What you might be able to let go a little bit of. Notice if one side is different to the other. Notice if one position is more comfortable than another, and feel free to choose what feels best for you today. We're going to tune into our breath first, and to start with, just notice your breath. If you're comfortable, happy to do so, you can let your hands, one or both, rest onto your belly. And just notice if the breath is coming down into your belly. Is the belly rising underneath your hands on the inhale, melting down on the exhale? And if it's not, maybe see how it feels to guide your breath a little bit deeper down into your belly. Allow the breath to slow down so that each inhale and exhale lasts a little bit longer within what feels comfortable for you. If it's causing any unpleasant sensations, just feel free to let it go and just let your natural breath be. And as you continue with this abdominal breath, I'm just going to read a couple of paragraphs that I read that kind of resonated with me about the weekend or the month that is Vyaltana. And as I said, it resonated with me. Feel free to let it wash over you if it doesn't land. At Vyaltana, the sun god, or the god of the green wood, is rising in power, virility, and energy, and so can you, if you align yourself with this divine aspect within. Remember the importance of deep roots and of drawing in strength from the earth, as well as of reaching high and absorbing the sun's light and bright influence. Take the time to ask yourself what makes you feel really alive. What gives you a sense of physical well-being and spiritual vitality? What in your life makes you feel proud? What gives you a sense of adventure? Deep inside, you know how, and this is the time to enact those ideas. Stand up for yourself and your dreams. Do not allow yourself to be tamed by circumstances, but let your creativity and determination help you find a life that feels authentic and reflects your nature. Seek out ways to become prouder of yourself, and, if necessary, adjust your self-image and even your appearance to take your accomplishments and positive attributes into consideration, so that you can act from a position of self-worth and confidence. tension, gripping the toes, feel the arches tense, and then let that go. Taking your attention to your shins, your calf muscles. Can you create a little bit of tension? Can you tighten the muscles? How much is up to you? And then letting that go. Taking your attention to your thighs. Can you create a little bit of muscle tension in your thighs, the fronts and backs? And letting that go. Take your attention to your hips. Gently squeezing the hips as much as feels comfortable. And let those muscles melt. Take your attention to your hands, maybe making gentle fists with your hands. And releasing that. And you create tension in your forearms. Again, letting that go. Creating tension in your upper arms. And letting that go. Can you shrug your shoulders towards your ears? And then let the shoulders melt back down. Can you create a little bit of tension in the belly, maybe feeling some tension in the lower back? Feel free to ignore it if it's creating any discomfort. And then softening. Creating tension in the chest and the upper back. And again, finding that sense of release, letting go. Taking your attention to your jaws, maybe gently clenching your teeth. And releasing. And then finally the eyes. Can you squeeze your eyes shut? And then releasing any of that tension. And hopefully noticing a sense of lightness now, from the feet to the fingertips to the crown of your head. And then maybe if the legs were straight, I invite you to bend up the knees now, allowing the feet to be hip distance apart. If it's more comfortable for you, allow the arms to rest down by your side. I'm going to introduce some very gentle movement into the lower back, a gentle flattening of your lower back to the floor. And then a little tilt forwards in the pelvis, find a little arch into your lower back. Nice and gentle. Maybe as you repeat this a few times, you feel that it gets a little bit freer and the movement gets a little bit bigger, but there's no forcing, there's no goal to make the arch as big as possible. We're just looking for that sense of ease in the lower back and the hips. Keeping the breath nice and easy. Maybe allowing the arms to come out to the side a little bit. You can have a little roll around. You can turn your hands up, hands down. And invite this movement not just into the hands, but into the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, even into the shoulder sockets, the shoulder blades. And really feel your shoulder blades fully supported on the floor. Let the arms be heavy. And just let the arms rest. And you can choose if you want to bring your feet a little wider or a little narrower, depending on how this feels for you. Allowing your two knees to ease to the right. And then lifting the knees back up and easing them to the left. If this feels too strenuous, potentially bring the feet a little wider. Makes the movement a little bit more gentle, a little bit easier to control. Keeping that sense of groundedness in the shoulders and the head and the arms. reaching the arms up overhead. Okay, so taking them as close to the floor overhead as feels good for your shoulders. And if this feels too strenuous for your shoulders, feel free to take your hands behind your head or even keep your arms down by your side, whichever feels good. So we don't want any sharpness or any pain in the shoulders with this. You want to walk your feet gently to the right edge of your mat to start with. And if it feels good for you, you can cross your left leg on top of your right leg. We're looking for the sense of release down the outside edge of your leg. And then your arms, if it feels good, you can start to reach them gently over to the right as well. If it feels pleasant for you, you can hold your left wrist with your right hand. Again, we want to feel a sense of ease in the shoulder and the side of the rib. So if this feels like pulling on your shoulder, again, hands behind your head or hands down by your side is fine. We just want to feel this lovely lengthening, releasing sensation all the way up the left hand side. And breathing into the left hand side if that's comfortable for you. If you're struggling to breathe into the left hand side, maybe you're pushing too far into it, you can ease out of it a little bit. Maybe taking one more breath here. And then ease out of it how you came in. So maybe bring your hands back to the center, uncrossing the legs, walk your legs to the center, maybe take a breath or two here in the center. And then in your own time, walking your legs to the left. And maybe crossing your right leg over the left. Okay, so you can reach the arms over to the left. For some, it can feel nice to support the right wrist with the left hand, but don't pull, just ease into it. And can you find your breath expanding into the right hand side of your wrist? So ensuring that the hips feel heavy, the rib cage feels heavy, and that there's ease in the shoulders and the lower back. And again, easing out of that as you came into it. So releasing the arms back to the center, walking the legs back to the center, relaxing the arms back down by your side, and maybe bending one knee at a time again. Feeling your feet connecting to the floor, maybe take another little arch and flatten into the lower back after that. And then grounding through your left foot, we're going to hug your right knee into your chest. And just give that knee a little squeeze, keeping weight in the shoulders, ease in the neck. And then introducing a little bit of movement into your ankle, maybe pointing the toes forwards and backwards gently. And then circling your ankle, maybe starting small and look to expand that circle if it feels good. And then reversing the direction. Okay, hopefully everybody's strap is within arm's reach. I'm going to take your strap. You're going to find the middle of the strap or thereabouts, and you're just going to place it over your right foot. So maybe around the ball of your foot or in around the arch of your foot. So you're keeping that right knee bent and in towards the chest. Shoulder blades are nice and heavy on the floor. You're connecting, grounding through that left foot. And we want to feel a sense of weight into both hips. So just noticing if there's a tendency to roll away from one hip or maybe feel a twist in the lower back. We want to stay nice and grounded through both hips. And nice and easy and heavy into both shoulders. And then in your own time, maybe with an inhale, gently start to lengthen your right foot up towards the ceiling, looking to feel a bit of release into the back of the leg. And then maybe on your exhale, find a little bit of a bend back into the knee. So in your own time, extending and bending the knee. Noticing if there's a tendency to maybe scrunch your shoulders up as the leg extends. So adjusting the hands, adjusting the hold of the strap so that your shoulders can stay heavy. And then if it feels good, allow the leg to stay extended for a breath or two. Looking for a sense of release, keeping the weight particularly into your right hip. And let's take a little bend into the right knee again, and holding that right knee, right leg steady for a moment, lengthen your left leg and just see how it feels with the right foot in the strap, how it feels for the left leg to be straight. Now if straight away this doesn't feel good for you, you can bend that left knee back in again. But maybe now with the left leg straight, keeping that connection to the floor with the hips, easing that right leg up towards the ceiling again. And flexing. So again, nice and easy, maybe with the pace of your breath if that feels good. And just notice how it probably feels a little different than the first time you did it. Notice where you might be now creating a little bit of tension, and can you find ease? And if it feels good to hold that leg up for a couple of breaths, then I invite you to do that. As you're holding this, maybe let the shoulders just drop a little bit more. Let the hips be a little heavier. And imagine your breath traveling all the way down the back of your right leg. And then bending that right knee back in. So holding that right knee in as it is, we're going to slide that left knee back in. And we're going to take the two ends of the strap into your right hand. And connecting through your deeper trunk muscles, the pelvic floor muscles, the tummy muscles for support, we're going to lift your left knee up. And maybe holding, supporting your left knee with your left hand. Okay. And then we're going to very gently extend that right leg up to the ceiling. So we're keeping your right knee flexed, we're keeping your left knee flexed, we're supporting your left knee with the left hand. And we're extending the right leg up to the ceiling. Okay, now the goal here is to keep connected and nice and stable in the lower back and the pelvis. So potentially, as we bring your right leg out to the right, you're going to bring your left knee out to the left as a bit of a counterbalance. Feel that release of the inside of the right leg, and then potentially lifting the two legs back up again. So we want to feel a release in the right leg, but without compromising the lower back, the pelvis. So using your left leg to help to balance. And like when we were bending and straightening, if you want, if it feels good, you can hold that leg out and hold it there and take a few breaths. Or you can just keep easing out. Ready, bring that leg back up. Thinking of your toe at the moment, imagine it's pointing to 12 o'clock. We're going to gently rotate your foot towards 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock, and then come back to 12. So gentle rotations. So we're guiding the toes out, but really the movement is happening all the way up in your hip. So there shouldn't be a twisting in the ankle or the knee. So as the toes turn out, the knee gently turns out as well. And then if it feels good to you, with the toe turned out, we can start bringing that leg outwards, again counterbalancing with the left leg, and just see if it feels different. Do you feel that we can move further, or maybe not as far with the toes turned out? And again, feel free to play with that. If you prefer to keep the toes pointing to 12, that's fine. If you prefer just rotating the foot in and out, that movement, fine. And then the option to combine by bringing the leg out as well. Yeah, if you're okay to hold it, on your shoulder. Yeah, just to give it a little bit of. Okay, bringing that leg back. And we're going to keep the strap in the right leg. We're going to bend that right knee back in again. And we're going to let the left foot come down to the floor. Feel that left foot nice and heavy, really connected to the floor, really grounded through the left leg. And then in your own time, as far as you're comfortable, extending that leg back up towards the ceiling again. Maybe passing the two straps now into your left hand. Okay, and we're going to play with easing your right foot now towards the left. So if you need to slide that left foot forwards a little bit, you can. This movement tends to feel a lot more restricted than going the opposite direction. We have a lot more density in the tissue on the outside of the hip and down the leg. Helps us balance and walk. Again, you can ease across and back. Just try to keep the hips nice and heavy because it's much for stay. Okay, so we're looking to feel that sense of release in your outer hip. For the moment, we're going to avoid twisting the lower back. Okay. Again, if you want, you can stay there for a breath or two or continue easing in and out. This movement can be as big or as small as feels good for you. Again, let the shoulders soften in case holding that strap is creating a little bit of tension. And then ease that leg back up. So now our toe pointing to 12 o'clock. We're now going to turn it towards 11 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock. So a little turn in. Again, this movement is from your hip rather than the foot only. And we're just going to turn it in and out a couple of times. Just feel the rotation inside the hip, turning inwards this time. For me, this is a real notable difference compared to the freedom of turning the foot out. It's much more restricted to turn in. And if it feels good to you, when your toe is turned in, maybe play with crossing the leg gently over. It feels potentially even more wound up. It can feel good. If it doesn't, don't feel like you have to continue. Again, if you want to stay there for a breath or two, you can. And then easing the foot back up. Now bending that knee in towards your chest. You're going to slip the strap off. If it feels good for you, you can hold the outside edge of your foot and just take one more little release into the hip. So taking your knee towards the armpit or towards the floor on that side, so the sole of your foot is facing up towards the ceiling. Good, that's it. Okay, feel free to release that foot down to the floor at any time. Perfect. Okay, take a moment, let the two legs be symmetrical, be that straight or bent legs. Let the shoulders land and just take your attention inside, particularly to the hips, but all the way down the legs. Just notice if one side now feels much different to the other. Notice all the sensations we've created on the right. In your own time, if the legs were straight, maybe bending them again, and this time grounding into your right foot, we're going to hook the left knee into the chest. So just park the strap to one side for a moment. Okay, so hooking the knee into the chest, just feeling that release into the back of your hip. And then bring a little movement into your ankle, a little point pointing forwards and backwards. And just noticing if you can let the shoulders drop a little bit. And maybe some circles into your ankles. And then the opposite direction. Super. Okay, taking your strap and popping it around the center of the foot. And about the midway point of the strap, just so that you can take a hold of either end. And to start with, if it feels good, you can hold one strap in either hand. Okay, so stay grounded through the right foot, anchored to the base of the spine and the back of both hips. We're going to slowly start to extend your foot up to the ceiling, and then allowing that knee to bend. Slow and steady, finding that release into the back of your leg. Noticing how one side can be different to the other. Maybe it's the same, maybe this side feels freer, maybe it's tighter. If you want and it feels good, keep that leg extended and take a few breaths. Noticing if holding this position is creating tension anywhere, and can you let it soften? And then bending into the right knee, keeping that right knee flat, left knee flexed for a moment. You can slide your right leg going, so the right leg is straight. And just a quick check-in at the back of the hips, the base of the spine. If that feels comfortable, then you can slowly allow that left leg to extend. It may feel more restricted. There may be a bit more of a tendency to twist, so be mindful of that. And you can again bend and straighten, or you can hold that. Choosing whether you want to hold that release for a breath or two and keep moving. And allowing that left knee to bend, sliding your right heel back in. So your right knee is flexed, that right foot is grounded. We're going to release that left leg back up to the ceiling. Bend that knee again because we've got to lift up the right foot. So lifting your right knee in towards your chest, we're going to take the two straps into your left hand. You're going to take your right knee into your right hand. So we're using that right leg as a counterbalance. So ease your right knee out to the right as you ease your left leg out to the left. Finding a pleasant sense of release into the inside of the left leg without any twisting or discomfort into your lower back. Okay, and again you can choose the moving option, easing it out, maybe going with your breath, or stay there for a few breaths. And then again bringing that leg back in, or foot leg back in. And we're going to play with turning. So your left foot now starts at 12 o'clock. We're going to turn it out towards 11 or 10 and back in. Again, tuning in, this movement happening from the hip, knee and foot turning out. Watch for any sense of twisting or sharpness, particularly in the knee. Maybe keeping the foot turned out for a breath or two, only as far as feels good. And then maybe seeing how it choosing between moving or holding. And then easing that leg back in. Maybe bending that left knee, lowering your right foot to the floor. And this time you might need to shimmy your right leg forwards a little bit, just so the knee's not quite in the way, but still staying connected through the sole of your foot, so you're nice and balanced. We're going to lengthen into the back of that left leg again. And just mindful of the back of the hips, we're going to gently ease your leg over to the right. Maybe swapping the straps into your right hand this time. And if you want, you can reach your left arm out to the side so that shoulder feels nice and balanced. So easing across, coming back up. If your right knee is in the way, you might need to ease your foot forwards a little bit more. So stay nice and connected at the back of your left hip to get the best release into your outer left hip rather than twisting into the lower back. This one can be on the edge of less pleasant, so don't feel like you have to stay there or don't feel like you have to go as far. And then allowing that foot to come back up. We're going to take a little turn. Now this time your left foot is going to turn towards 1 or 2 o'clock. So we're turning the foot inwards to point towards the right. And the toes and the knees. Again, one hip can be very different to the other, so don't feel like you have to force that toe around just because that's how far the other leg went. And then maybe play with when your toes are turned in, the leg has rotated, how now it feels to cross the leg gently over. Potentially how much less movement you might have with that added little bit of winding up. Keeping those shoulders nice and heavy, keeping your breath nice and even. And then coming back up, bending that left knee, taking your left foot into your hand. If you can, reach to the outer edge of your foot, maybe let that knee point towards your armpit. And let's go the foot to the ceiling. Find that little release into the back of your left leg. And then allowing the left foot to come to the floor. And again, choosing between bent or straight legs. How do the legs feel left compared to right now? Okay, in your own time, let's do another little windshield wiper. So knees side to side. And then from that windshield wiper, I want you to roll all the way over to one side and making your way onto your hands and knees. I'm not going to be on the knees too long, but if you want to cushion up underneath the knees, you can use the blanket and fold your mat. We're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. If you find your feet are a little bit slidey on the mat, feel free to take the socks off. Sometimes the bare feet can have a little bit more grip. We're going to have a little tune into your wrist. So let's take a little rock forwards and backwards, shoulders over your hands. Fingers are nice and spread. Feel the connection between the tips of all 10 fingers, the bases of all 10 fingers, and the palms of your hands. Maybe take a little rock side to side with the shoulders. And maybe have a little rotation, so looking over your right shoulder and over your left, and just feel that little Okay, so if you change your mind and you decide you want more pushing in the knees, do please add it. Toes, it's totally up to you. They can be tucked or pointed, whatever feels best. And then in your own time, we're going to start with the tailbone. We're going to tuck the tailbone down, lift the belly up, ease your shoulder blades apart, and tuck your chin. Find a nice gentle flexion into the spine. Going into the opposite direction, ease the pelvis forwards, lifting the tailbone, feel that length into the belly, ease the chest forwards, gently lifting the head. So exhaling to flex, inhaling to extend. The whole movement should be really gentle. There shouldn't be a very strong sensation in the neck or the lower back. Keeping that connection through the feet and the hands, through those deeper pelvic and lower belly muscles, supporting this movement, supporting the spine throughout this movement. And then feel free to maybe come back off the hands for a moment. You can sit on the heels, maybe give those wrists a little circle, whatever feels good to you. Perfect. Okay, in your own time, we're going to come back onto the hands and knees. Maybe taking a step forwards with the hands. Same thing, fingers are spread, spreading the weight from the tips of the fingers, the base of the fingers, to the heel of your hands. Let's tuck your toes this time. Alright, we're going to ease the hips back, allowing the chest and the head to lower. Notice if this is creating discomfort in your shoulders. Feel free to adjust the hand position wider or narrower. And then exhale, take those shoulders back over your hands. Feel that connection into the front of your trunk. So easing forward and back a few times. This time, different to the last one, we're not looking to move the spine. We're not looking to articulate the spine. It's a hinging motion at the hips and the shoulders. Feeling the strength in the front of the trunk as you come forwards and the release into the back of the trunk as you come back. Okay, so the next time the hips are back, we're going to keep them back. We're keeping the head heavy. We're keeping the shoulders nice and strong. And then on your exhale, hover your knees off the floor. Belly towards your thighs as you get a little height into the hips. At any point, if you want to come down and give those shoulders a little bit of rest, you can. We're looking for a sense of softness in the knees to optimize the length into the back of the spine. So belly towards your thighs, releasing the neck. So you're looking more towards your toes than you are your hands. That's it. Okay, and then holding this, if you're happy to do so, we're going to take a little pedal out. So maybe allow one heel to lift as the other heel lowers. And then alternate that. So slow and steady, maybe with your breath. Feel the lengthening into the back of one leg, and then alternating to the back of the opposite leg. Perfect. And then finding stillness for a moment or two. Just a breath or two. Lengthening all the way up the back of the legs, up the back of the spine. Head heavy. Taking one more inhale here. And then on your exhale, we're going to slowly start to walk the feet towards the hands, maybe the hands towards the feet. We want to get the feet nice and flat, keeping a good bend into the knees, and allowing the head to be heavy. So hands maybe on the floor, maybe onto your legs, head is heavy. Stay here for a breath or two, and then we're going to come up. So weight into the feet, we're going to slowly build up. The head is last, we're keeping the bend in the knees. We want the legs to be nice and strong. And very slowly stacking up the spine, rolling the shoulders back and down, and only at the very end of the movement, let the head come up. So if you're feeling any sense of dizziness, maybe just take a pause for a moment. the shoulders up towards your ears, back towards each other, and melting your shoulders down your back. Feeling really connected through your feet. Your toes are spread. All 10 toes, like we talked about with the hands, all 10 toes in contact with the floor, the balls of the feet, heels. Just feel a sense of strength, being upright. Then we're going to take a step forward with your right foot and a step back with the left foot, and we're just going to alternate our weight from the front foot to the back foot. So easing forwards, easing backwards, and slowly, keeping that right foot pointing forwards, we're going to gently turn the body to face towards the left a little bit more. So allow the left toes to start to turn out a little bit. You can choose how wide or narrow this step is. Can you find equal weight between both feet? Take a little bend into your right knee. So we're looking to feel really strong, particularly in the right leg, but in both legs. So holding the bend in the right knee. Lengthening the left leg. Knee is straight but not locked, so have a little play around with it, have a little bend and straighten. And then we're keeping the front knee bent, toes are spread, all 10 toes still on the floor here. Make sure the outer edge of the back leg is on the floor. So nice strong sensation in the legs. Guide your tailbone down so you feel really supported and nice and long in the lower back. And if it feels good for you, allow the arms to just grow out long. Right arm forwards, left arm backwards, melting your shoulders. And then allowing yourself to look forwards over the right hand. And just holding this position here, easing the shoulders, strength from the feet all the way up to the hips and into your lower trunk. Maybe taking one more deep breath in here, and then let the arms come down. And then we're going to ease our way to the right foot and bring the left foot forwards. Take a moment again, just feeling grounded with both feet, toes are spread, arches are lifted, strong in the knees and into the hips. And then shifting your weight onto the left, we're going to take the right foot back. And again, we're going to have a little play, weight from the front foot to the back foot, and then slowly allowing your body to turn to the right, but keeping those left toes forward. So we're getting a little rotation. And then can you find equal weight between the two feet? We're going to take a little bend into your left knee, but make sure that left knee feels really good, really strong, really stable. Back knee is straight but not locked, so have a little bend, a little straighten. Spreading the toes. Feel the outer edge, particularly of that back foot, connected to the floor. So front knee bent, back leg actively extended, melting your shoulders, and if it feels good, allow the arms to grow out nice and long. So soften the shoulders, lengthen the neck. Ease that tailbone, find a sense of weight into your tailbone. And then if it feels okay for your neck, you can look over that left hand. So we're looking to feel really strong, particularly from the feet up to the hips. But with a sense of ease in the neck and the upper shoulders. If it feels better for your shoulders to let the arms come back down, maybe hands onto your hips, then that's fine. Taking one more inhale here, and then letting the arms come down, easing that right foot forwards. And again, maybe take a moment here where both feet really feel really grounded, lifting up through the crown of the head, shoulders back and down. Okay, little balance challenge now, so you can make this as easy or as difficult as you want. Let's take your weight onto your right foot first. Just make sure that your knee isn't locking out. Okay, your left foot, to start with, we're just going to turn it gently towards the left. Make sure the knee turns as well, no twisting in the knee. And then we're going to bring your heel to just gently rest against your right ankle. So we're keeping those hips nice and facing forwards, keeping a softness in your standing leg, not locking it. And if you want to, you can start to slide that heel maybe a little bit up to your calf. But if today you're just not feeling as balanced, then feel free to keep your toe in contact with the floor. You can have your hands on your hips here. If it feels good, you can take your hands together in front of your chest. For any very enthusiastic person who wants to take it a step further, you can bring your foot above your knee. It might need the help of your left hand, and press it into the inner thigh. Just be very mindful of your knee. Ideally, the foot is above or below the knee rather than directly on it. And feel free to take the option that's maybe not striving quite so much today. You can keep the hands on the hips, as I said, hands on the chest, or if it feels good for you, given that we are in the month of May, you can allow your arms to open up as if the branches of your tree are blossoming. Very calm day today, so there's no wind toppling us over. And then maybe, when you're ready, bring the hands back together or back onto your hips and allow that left foot onto the floor. Great, okay, take a moment, really connect through both feet again. Lifting through the crown of the head, shoulders back and down, nice and strong, nice and stable. And then we're going to ease your weight to your left foot. Option one, we're just going to gently rotate your right toes out. Maybe take your heel to your ankle. Just be mindful we're not locking into that left knee. Feel free to take your foot to the calf. Keeping the toes on the floor if you wish. Again, you can go for the upper thigh, just be mindful of the inside of your knee. Maybe taking the hands to the hips, or together in front of your chest. Maybe take a pause, take a breath. And then if it feels good to you and it's appealing, to allow the arms to grow upwards, maybe gently outwards. And again, another breath here. And then coming back the way you came in. And then allowing that right foot to come to the floor. Perfect. One more moment, just connecting, grounding through both feet. Okay, we're going to slowly make our way back to the ground, but on the way there, we're going to take a few squats. So feel free to take the feet a little wider, a little narrower. Toes can be forwards or slightly outwards. We're going to take an inhale, ease into a squat. Find your spot. It could be shallow, it could be deep. We're going to exhale to come back up. Take that maybe 3 or 4 more times. One last check into that feeling of strength in the legs. Okay, let's do one last one like that. Inhaling. And then, perfect. Making your way back down onto your hands and knees. And then easing yourself over onto your back. So we're going to lay down, knees bent, feet flat. Have a quick little arch and flatten of the lower back for a moment. And then hugging one knee at a time into your chest. And bringing that second leg up. So you can hug the knees into the chest. If it feels good, you can take the knees together, go for a narrow hug. Or you can bring those knees a little bit more towards your armpits. If it feels good and you want to reach inside of the legs, outside of the feet, so the soles of your feet are facing the ceiling. Or keep the hands on the knees if that feels best for your hips. And if you want, you can stay still and focus on your breath, and you can add a little gentle rock from side to side. And then again, finding stillness, maybe taking one more deep breath here. And then releasing the feet down one at a time. Maybe let the arms fall out, let the shoulders be heavy. Take another little windshield wiper, knees side to side. comfortable position to be still for the next 5 minutes or so. So if you want to cover yourself in a blanket, you can. If you want to use the blanket to pop under your knees, or if anybody wants a bolster, I have some bolsters here if you want underneath the knees. I have laid out eye pillows if anybody would like to use them. Again, feel free. There's plenty of options, and if I don't have enough options, let me know and I will get some more. I have loads of blankets, I have bolsters. So your next 5 minutes or so are to really absorb all the benefits of everything we've just done. I've heard of it referred to like allowing your steak or your roast lamb to rest after you've cooked it. Let the juices flow through in stillness. So again, anything that gives you 5%, 10% more comfort, I invite you to take it now. I'm going to read a poem for you now, and then we're going to take a few minutes silence for you to just be. So please, just be. You can have your eyes open, eyes closed, as I said, with the eye pillow on if you want. And then I'll very gently bring you back to our day. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Euphoria.